Welcome everyone to my LeetCode Biweekly Contest 141 livestream. If you're here for solutions, jump ahead to 90 minutes in or use the timestamps in the video description. In a few minutes, we'll be doing contests live and answering questions in the chat. So come join us every weekend for the contest. We'll basically do it together. No code will ever be shared. During the contest, we'll never share answers or solutions or code when the contest is running, but immediately after it ends, we will go through solutions for all 4 questions. So make sure to stick around. If you enjoy LeetCode content, do check out the rest of my channel. I have videos on different problems as well as the hardest question 4s of previous contests. And as usual, like and subscribe to stay up to date on new videos. Alrighty. Let me take a look at who's around. Alright, welcome everybody. Hello, Anarf Kandawal. Hello, hey, welcome. I don't recognize either of your names, but I'm sure some of you have joined the channel before. All right, contest begins. Good luck, everybody. So as usual, if you've not been to the channel before, I do my coding on a second screen. This is because I don't show code while the contest is running. So if you don't see anything happening on the screen, don't worry, I'm still here. Just ask a question in the chat and I'll attend to you. Three, 5, 5, 6. So today is supposed to be an easier contest according to the points, but you know, points sometimes lie to you. You're given an array nums consisting of prime integers. You need to construct an array n's of length n such that for each index I, the bitwise OR of I and equal to nums I. It's not possible to find such an... Okay. Oh, this is... what? So the bitwise OR of I's answer I and answer I plus 1 is equal to nums I. Oh, so it's... Okay, this is interesting. It's answer I... is answer I and answer I plus 1. Okay, this I'm gonna write it down. It's not answer I plus 1. It is answer I plus 1. It's not the next index. So this is kind of interesting. You must minimize each value of ans I in the resulting array. If it's not possible to find such a value for ans I that satisfies the condition, then ans I equals minus 1. Okay, interesting. Well, this doesn't look like the easiest problem in the world, but I think so. Think about x plus 1. So this is the bitwise OR, right? Think about bitwise OR of x plus 1 and x. What's the bitwise OR of x and x plus 1? If you OR x and x plus 1, what happens? Most of it will be the same, right? Let's say x is 1, 0, 0, 0. And then x plus 1 is 1, 0, 0, 1. And then you bitwise OR, you get 1, 0, 0, 1. So basically, if the number that the target number okay, let's play around with it a little bit. So let's say 3, right? 3 is 1 1. So to get 1 1, we need 0 1 and 1 0. To get 5, which is 1 0 1, we need we need 4, which is 1 0 0 and 0 0 1. This has to be the smallest possible number. So the first few digits are going to be the same. And to get 7, we need 1 1 and 1 0 0 to get 7. Okay, so the first few Okay, so the first few digits are going to be the same. First few digits are going to be the same. So it depends on how many ones there are at the end. How many ones can I get away with? Ah, interesting. So for question 1, you can probably do it by brute force. Now that I'm looking at it, the difference between question 1 and 2 is that question 2 has the numbers much larger. So question 1, you can do it by brute force. Or you can just ignore question 1 and try to solve question 2. You can ignore question 1 and solve question 2. I'm going to try and solve question 2 directly. Hi Shivam, welcome. This is just a reminder. You can use whatever language you want in this chat. But this is primarily an English language channel, and we're going to keep it that way. So try to use English most of the time if you can. But welcome to the chat. Yeah, so for question 1, you just I think it's just you just use some brute force and you guess. So for question 2, you cannot use brute force, for sure. For question 2, you'll need to think of, you have to identify the pattern. So the pattern between when we all x and x plus 1. So if x ends with a 0, let me see. If x ends with a 0, then x plus 1 ends with a 1. And then if I XOR this, then I'm going to get x plus 1. Okay. So if x ends with 1, 0, 1, x plus 1 will end with 1, 1, 0, and XOR this, I'm going to get the same thing but 1, 1. And then everything in front is the same. Okay. If x ends with 1, 0, x plus 1 will end with the same thing, 0, 1, 1. I XOR this, I'm going to get 1, 1. Oh, I'm never going to use this case, because this case is always going to be worse. This case will be always going to be worse than this case. So let me see. Yeah. Huh. So I guess maybe the trick is to look at what bits it ends with. If it ends with 0, 0, then it's impossible. If it ends with 0, 1. Oh, find the first 0. Ah, interesting. Yeah, so I think the trick is to look at the ending. Yeah, that's all the hints I'm gonna give right now. Let me work on it myself first, and then work on it myself, and then see if I can find the right solution. Yeah, the first one is almost certainly going to be brute force. But question 2 is the one that requires some pattern matching. And since I'm going to try and solve question 1 and 2, I'm going to ignore question 1 and solve question 2. And use the answer for question 2 for question 1. This way, I guess I save a little bit of time on question 1 and in nums. And also, I don't, in case I get a mistake, I don't like penalize myself. So again, if you have questions, ask in the chat. If I'm not doing anything on screen, it doesn't mean that I'm not doing anything. It just means I'm coding my solution on a second screen. If I'm quiet, it might look like nothing is happening at all. So I want to make sure people know. If you have questions, just ask in the chat. I'll come attend to you shortly. Okay. I think for question 2, you look at where the I think you have to look at where the zeros are. Pretty quiet today. There's no questions. Your code is visible. Ah, damn it. I'm sorry. Oh, thanks for letting me know. I'm so sorry about this. Oh, I see. I was sharing the wrong screen. I'm so sorry about this. No wonder it was yeah. No wonder I was not making any sense. Thank you so much for that, Shivam. Sorry, thank you so much for that, Yeah, so if you get TLE, if you get a TLE in question 2, do you try to use brute force? You try to use brute force, then yeah, if you get trying to use brute force, it will not be a good idea. So basically, for question 2, you look at the ending. You look at the pattern. You think about this: x by bitwise or x plus 1. What does it give you? So that's the way to think about it for question 2. Yeah, use brute force. So if you use brute force, I don't know. So if we look at question 2, so you look at question 2, if you use brute force, nums I smaller than I is power to power 9. If you do like what you call it, you do a for loop from 0 to 10 to power 9, you're TLE right away. So if you try to use any kind of brute force, unless you can reduce this by a lot, you can reduce this by like square root or more. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. So this is a very, very large number. So if you do for loop, any sort of for loop that goes from 0 to nums I, or anything that is like even close to nums I, half of nums I or whatever, is not gonna work. You have to reduce this by a significant amount. Yeah. So I'm still working on question 2 myself. But one thing you can try, just as a hint, is to think about if I take x and I XOR x plus 1, and I OR x plus 1, what do I get? So x and x plus 1 is almost the same, right? Except for the last few digits. So let's say x is 1 0 0 0 0, and then x plus 1 will be 1 0 0 0 1. If I OR them, I get 1 0 0 0 1. So if x ends with 2 zeros, then x plus 1 will be 0 1, and you XOR them, you get 0 1. What if x is something like 1 0 0, let's say 0 1? You XOR this, you get 1 0 0 1 0, x plus 1, and you get 1 0 0 1 1. What if x is... You just try with different endings, right? So what I'm doing is I'm just trying with different endings. I just look at the last few numbers. I look at the last few digits. Because the first few digits are the same. X and x plus 1, the first few digits are the same. You look at the last few digits and you try to see if you can find a pattern. So you try and see if you can find a pattern. Look at the last few digits. Look at the last few digits it produces, and then see if you can find a pattern. So that's going to be my hint. You didn't use a loop from 0, you use a loop for a higher number. Yeah, you find minimal x. We could just, yep. Yeah, you have to find minimal x. That's what makes the question interesting. If you don't have to find minimal x, it would be, yeah, you're right. It would be quite easy. And the other thing to note is that these are all prime numbers. Prime numbers. So why do they pick prime number? Think about if the target number on the right is even, will you ever be able to solve it? If the target number is on the right is odd, what happens? So think about this even and odd thing. 0 plus a bunch of 1s. Yeah, so try to see if you can notice a pattern by looking at the ending of the target number. Yeah, this question is a little bit annoying. And again, if you don't seem to be able to get it, don't worry. We'll go over all the solutions after the contest ends. So don't worry if you're struggling with this. This is pretty hard for question 2. Damn it! I thought question 2s are normally quite easy. Okay. Let me see. Let me read the chat. I tried to use loop from middle until nums, but it didn't work as well. Middle till nums is still very big. So look at the size of the problem. The size of the problem is 10 to the power 9. Middle to nums is 10 to the power 9 divided by half. It's not. It's too big. Yeah. The prime numbers, yeah, use a if condition and skip. Yeah. You gotta do it much faster. You can do it like, square roots of n time. Yeah. But let me make sure that that my answer is correct first before I say anything. Okay. So 2, 3, 5, 7. So on. I have some bug in mind. Okay. Okay. So 7 should be 3. 4 minus 1. Let me run again. Minus 1, 4, 3. That's correct. 10, 12, 15. 9, 12, 15. Ah, damn it. I got a bug. Eleven, 12, 15. 9, 12, 15. 11, 12, 15. Okay. So let me read the chat a little bit. Oh, chat really went fast. Okay. Can you do square root plus half of all nums? Yeah. Pre-store all values from e to the power 9. Yeah, I don't know who did all 4 questions in 6 minutes. That's like, I don't know how this works. I really don't know how people manage to get all the questions done in like minutes. So for guys, sorry, not guys, folks, we have to be politically correct in 2024. So folks, for question 2, I really don't think you can check all the numbers one by one. I'm pretty sure it's going to be too slow. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe yeah, I because the thing is, yeah, because like 10 to power 9 is just too big. Maybe somebody might be smart enough to come up with a clever way to store numbers and make it such that it doesn't, that works correctly. But I will be a little bit skeptical. I will be a little bit skeptical. Okay. Okay. Okay, cool. So I managed to get question 2 accepted. So question 1 is the same as question 2. So you can get question 2, you also can get question 1. Okay, cool. So the way I did it is by looking at the ending. Look at the ending of the bit string. I'm pretty sure the for loop doesn't work. The for loop is not going to work. So you cannot test all the numbers one by one. 10 to the power 9 is just too big. So yeah, I managed to do it by looking at the ending of the string. So that's the hint. So look at the ending. Look at the target. If look at the target on the right. If the target is try to observe a pattern. Basically, what I wrote on the board. Try to observe the pattern and then try to find based on this pattern what number or the number plus 1 will give you the target number that you want. That's all I'm going to say for now. Let me... Yeah, I'm... keep this screen here. I'm going to look at question 3 real quick, but I'm going to come back to question 2. I'm going to keep the screen on question 2 because I know most of you are still working on question 2. So question 3. You're given a string source of size n, a pattern that is a subsequence of source. And subsequence is keep the order, and just pick stuff. Pick individual items from the string. String pattern that is subsequence of n, and a sorted integer array, target indexes. It takes me like a few minutes to, probably takes me like 3 to 4 minutes just to understand English. That contains distinct numbers in the range 0 and -1. What in the world? You define an operation as removing a character at index IDX from source such that IDX is an element of target indices. What the heck? I don't know what it's talking about. I'm happy with my 3 points. That'll be all for me. Try. So question 3 and question 2 are both 5 points. So if you're stuck on question 2, don't worry. I will go through the answer at the end. But try question 3. So question 3 in theory is just the same difficulty as question 2. It's not super hard. IDX is as element of target indices. Pattern remains the subsequence of source after removing the character. I don't know what this is talking about. I seriously don't know what this is talking about. So source is ABA. Pattern is ABA. Target indexes is 0 and 1. IDX is an element of target indexes. Okay, you can choose from these targets. Pattern remains the subsequence of source after removing the character. Pattern remains the subsequence of source. Of course, it's a subsequence of source. After removing character. Maximum number of operations that can be performed. So remove source 1. So source becomes A underscore BAA. Oh, you remove from the source. Okay. So basically what this problem is about is you have a source. You have a source. And don't worry, guys. I'll come back to question 2 in a bit. You have a source. And then you have a pattern. ABA. you need to make sure that ABA is a sub. Yeah, it's a sub string of this. The character at index 2 will still be B. Oh, okay. So, and then you have target indices. Target indices 0, 1, and 2. Okay? So your job is to figure out how many of these guys I can kill. How many of these guys I can kill such that ABA is still a subsequence of source. Parent is still a subsequence of source. So ABA, right? Let me see. If I kill this, if I kill one, I'm going to get A, B, A, A. This is still okay. And then if I kill 0, I'm going to get B, A, A, which is not okay. Because BAA is not, ABA is not a subsequence of BAA. So I have to kill, basically I have to kill the maximum number of, yeah, I have to kill as many of these as possible. Today is very difficult. What the heck? I need to keep the A for sure. If I don't have the A, then we're done. So I need to keep the A. Not sure. We need to keep the A, but we can kill this 2. Oh, we can kill 2 also. Okay, so we can do one of them, but not both. If we do both of them, then I see. If we do both of them, then it's no longer a subsequence. I had to think about this a little bit. Oh, today is hard, man. It's harder than I thought. Okay, question 4. Let me just take a look at it. Yeah, how are folks doing on question 2? Are you guys giving up? Don't give up, dude. Don't give up. Let me see if I can give a bit more help for question 2. Let's see if I can help you guys a bit more for question 2. I'm not going to give the answer away, but I'm going to try and give as many hints as I can. So let's say you have X, right? Try to observe the pattern, X, and you want to all X plus 1, and you want to see what it gets. Okay? Let's try when X is this number. X plus 1 will be 1, 0. And then when you all them, you get 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. Okay? What happens when X is this number? What happens when X is this number? Or maybe I should just, let me see. Maybe we move this up a little bit. So I'm trying to be systematic here, right? I'm trying to systematically try everything out and see what pattern I can observe. Okay, X, this is X plus 1, and this is the result. So so you can observe what happens when you OR x and x plus 1 for different endings of x. Because remember, when x and x plus 1, the only difference is the end, right? Because the front part, the first few digits are the same. So I'm gonna try out, like, just basically try out. Do you see a pattern somewhere here emerge? Do you see a pattern? Do you start to see a pattern? Do you start to see a pattern emerge? Look at the ending. Look at the ending of look at the ending here. If it ends with 0, 1, if it ends with 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, if it ends with 0, 1, 1, 1, what happens? What's the best number to use? Yeah, so think about it a little bit. That's basically all the hints I can get. If I give any more hints, I'll be basically giving you guys a solution. And I don't want to do that until after the contest ends, okay? So think about that a little bit. Yeah, I haven't looked at 4 yet. Let me look at 4. Rishi, are you done with 3? If you're done with 3, very well done. I've not done with 3 yet. I'm still thinking about 3. 3 seems difficult also. If you're given, okay, let's look at question 4. Look at question 4 together. You're given 3 integers n, x, and y. An event is held for n performers. When the performers arrive, they are assigned to one of x stages. All performers assigned to the same stage will perform as a band, although some stage might be empty. Will jury each band a score? In the score range 1 to y. Return possible number of ways the events can take place. This is a combination problem. Is it a combination problem? So you have n, x, and y. So you have x stages. Let's say x is 3. You have stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Let's say n equals to 6. Then you can... It's a combinatorial problem, right? Isn't it just a combinatorial problem? It's a math problem. Well, here's what I'm thinking. When I see a math problem, it's almost always a dynamic programming problem. When I see a math problem disguised as a computing problem, it's almost always dynamic programming or some kind of dynamic programming. Okay, so if n is 6, then you have 1. You can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then each of them would have 1 to y. This can score 1. This can be 10. This can be 1 or whatever. And this will be one way the event can take place. Yeah. So basically, this is a combinatorial problem, right? So the first step, there are 2 ways to assign a stage to a performer. And can assign to the only band. Yeah. So the ways to assign a performer is basically x to the power of n. Each performer is either assigned stage 1 or stage 2. Why is it? Wait, why is it 32? Why is it 32? I'm a bit confused here. Every performer will be... Oh, x to the power n, yeah, 2 to the power 5 is 32. That's correct. There are x to the power of n ways to assign stages. And for each of the stages, isn't this just a numerical problem? So there are x to the power of n ways to assign performance to stages. So every band is gonna get. Oh, because some bands are some things are empty. Is that the reason? Ugh. No, that's not the reason, right? So let me do some math here. So 3 to the power 3. How does this work actually? 3 to the power 3 equals to 27. There are 27 possible arrangements of the bands. Yeah, I don't quite understand this question. So there's x to the power of n ways to assign to create bands. Assign bands to stages. Any band is awarded a different score. I don't quite understand what the question is asking. Why is it 684? Yeah, I don't understand this question. Can we do DP for the first one? Oh, you did Q2 with brute force. Very nice. Yeah, for third one I'm not sure. I'll think about it a little bit. Let me see. So for third one, yeah, well, don't say it here right now, but after the contest ends, I would love to know how you guys did question 2. Yeah, I'd love to know how you guys did question 2, because this is the method I took. And I don't know. It seems the most reasonable one to me. But if you have a way to do question 2 by the for loop with some optimization, I would love for you guys to share it after the contest ends. Yeah. The question 2, I think people are trying. So Sharif, if you're asking for solutions, we're not gonna give solutions in this channel. But there's a hint on the board, which is try to observe the sort of pattern. Look at the ending of the target that you're trying to reach. And then some people manage to do it by brute force, but the people who did do it by brute force, don't give your answer here. Just be like very gentle hints if you want, but very, very little hints. Remember not to give the solutions. You can do that after the contest ends. Well, please do that after the contest ends. So I'm also curious, how do you do it by brute force? Me? Are you asking me, Anish? I'm based in the US. So you can see that it's bright and sunny outside where I am. And it's probably nighttime for you guys because I'm in the Western Hemisphere. Okay. So for question number 3, I think about it a little bit. So source and pattern. This is not good. So source and pattern. ABBA, ABBAA, and ABA. How do you know you'll be nighttime over here? Yeah, because according to YouTube, I can see that most of my viewers are from India. I don't know how to solve 4. So Rishi, I'm still on 3. So you're ahead of me, man. Well, if you do figure it out, let me know after the contest ends. I'd love to learn from you. So for question 3, yeah, I'm kind of stumped on question 3. It looks like I want to say it's some kind of tree, but maybe not. How do you do question 3? Okay, so if I assume there's a fast way, to check if the source, if pattern is a substring of source, is a subsequence of source. Let me see. Okay, let me see this. Chat is going. Q2. So Q2, the hint is on the board. Q2, if you're trying to find a number, look at the ending of the number. Look at the bits that the number ends with, and try to see if you can notice a pattern. So Asad Khan, source the target index equals to 0. How is 0 wrong? Zero wrong because I think you can do better than 0. I think that's from eyeballing it. You can so for let me see, you can reply. So for Asad Khan, I think the answer should be 2, 3, not 0. If you remove 0, it'll work, but you have to remove you do remove maximum number of operations. You have to do 2 and do 3. Yeah, so for question 2, the hint is on the board. Give it a try. If you still don't get it, it's fine. We'll come back to it after the contest ends. I gotta do my question 3 because I'm not having a great time with this. Yeah. Question 3, I'm kind of stumped. Can we use tick not tick DP? Yeah. with target indices and get. Yeah, I think that's the right way. I think so. I'm not sure. I'm still working on it. So yeah, you sort of either take or you don't take. So if you do that, it should be one like O(n) times. So like n cube sort of. The numbers are not very big, so the length is maximum length is only 3,000. Yeah, the maximum length is only 3,000. So probably, yeah, that's what I'm trying something similar also. It's sort of like, it's kind of brute forcey. Yeah, target indexes is, target index is sorted in the ascending order. Interesting. Oh, Rishi, you managed to figure out the fourth one. Very well done. Congratulations. Hmm. Uh, but how do you do the DP along the length of source? Yeah, that's the thing I'm not quite getting. Is it like a two-dimensional DP? Is it two-dimensional DP? Is it two-dimensional where one dimension is source? And then the other dimension is pattern. That doesn't make any sense. that makes no sense at all. Damn it. Actually, it does make sense. So, interesting. It's like two-dimensional DP, is it? One dimension is the source, and then one dimension is pattern. And then interesting. Yeah, I think it actually does make sense. Okay. So let's see. So I think it's a two-dimensional DP problem. Let me just write it out on the board. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's tick not tick DP. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's two-dimensional DP. Yeah, that said, I'm pretty sure I won't be able to solve it in time. So maybe what I'm doing is all moot. It's a moot point. K Y D D D E D. And here is Y E Y Y D. Okay, so if source is Y and pattern is Y, I cannot remove any indexes. If source is let me see. Let me circle the places that are indexes. So indexes 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so when source is Y and pattern is Y, I cannot remove this. YE, can I remove this? Oh, this is the same. So YEY, I can now remove this. I can also remove, so YEYE. Okay, so let me think about the logic here. So let's say I reach a if I'm going this way, right? I reach an index which appears in target index. I reach an index that appears in target index. Okay? What does that mean? That means that either I can take the previous number, right? I know that I can get Y, YE. So either I can take the previous number, or I can add myself Yeah, I can't think of what the answer is. Let me see. Take not take DP, make the string and pass to function where it checks updated source equals pattern. Yeah. Maybe the take not take DP is easy, is the way to go. So no sharing of solution. So on this channel we don't share any solutions. You can give some hints if you want. Just gentle hints. But no sharing of solutions on this channel. At least not while the contest is running. Actually, while the contest is running, since I have people here, just a shameless plug. if you enjoy this live stream, you'll help me out a lot if you just toss me a like and subscribe. If you're not subscribed to this channel, just click the button. You can just click the like button on this video itself. It's gonna help me out a lot if you just do that. And if you want, you can add a comment on this video once it's done on how many questions you managed to finish. That will help me out a lot. Yeah, because YouTube tracks engagement, and yeah, it's a numbers game. Thank you, Rishi, thanks for restraining yourself. But do that after the contest ends. So 10 more minutes. So hang in there, folks. Hang in there. Just put these hints on the board. So for question 3, let me try the take not take DP. It's like not great. How do you do take not take DP though? Because it's not. Yeah. How do you do take not take DP though? Because it's not like it's not monotonic, right? Yeah, it's not monotonically increasing. Interesting. Yeah, it's not monotonically increasing, right? Oh, okay, I see. Okay. N square approach for question 2. How do I optimize? Yeah, I'll talk about question 2. N log n solution. Yeah. Yeah, if you guys manage to do question 2 by brute force, I'm curious how you can do it by brute force. TP1. I solved question 2 by trying different solutions and got accepted, but I don't understand my own solution. Great. Good job. Trial and error. If it works, it works. You know what? If it works, it works. But here's the thing, it's a contest. It's not supposed to be a real programming engineering problem. Engineering problem, you cannot trial and error, but contest, just do whatever you want. Have some fun with it. Yep, well, I'm gonna give up on question 3. I didn't manage to do it. This is not a good contest for me. I thought it would be easier. I don't think question 3 is that hard, but I somehow got stumped on it. Yeah. No, I don't have question 3 or 4, unfortunately. Contest is about to end. I'm gonna grab some water, and then we'll come back and discuss. I'll try my best to discuss what I got, but I got stumped on question 3. That's very unfortunate. I honestly don't think it's that difficult, but I think there's some blind spot I'm not seeing. But I know some of you guys managed to do all 4 questions. I know Rishi managed to do it. So congratulations. For rest of you, hang in there 2 more minutes. Once again, if you have not liked and liked the video, just click a like button if you want. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe to my channel if you want. I do appreciate it. The VODs will come up later today in like a couple of hours. So if you can go on the board and comment how well you did, how many questions you did, that would help me out a lot. I see some questions in chat. So Mayank, I gave the contest after around 2 months now, and was only able to solve 1 and 2. Yeah, no, great. Has the difficulty increased? The difficulty is not constant. So sometimes the difficulty is very high, sometimes the difficulty is very low. It's completely random. I've given up, so don't attach your like a lot of people think, oh, I can solve how many questions, that makes me a better programmer. Nah. Don't worry about that, bro. Just do as many questions as you can. It's completely random. So Ali Merchants, can you give some tips if this was my first contest and I want to try and get into serious coding and want to build logic? So Ali Merchant, my honest suggestion is for you is, like, how long have you been programming? If you just started programming, or you do it for less than a year or 2, then try doing the contest. It's gonna be fun. You can solve these smaller problems. If you've been programming for longer, I strongly suggest getting into projects. So don't just do programming contests. Actually look at programming projects that you can do, interesting things that you can put on GitHub to buff your resume, but also larger projects that you have to follow end to end, and not just a question that you can finish in an hour or a day. These are not realistic representations of the kind of programming, software engineering projects you'll be required to do when you have a job, or even you have to do in order to create an interesting application on your own. So work on projects as much as you do programming contests. All for done. Very nice, Rishi. Try writing binary for all primes. Yeah. What's my favorite project that I've done? The last project I actually did. My last project was a RAG project. So my last project was a project on RAG. So it's retrieval, augmented generation. This is my last project. And basically what I did is I used this to improve. So if you don't know what this is a way of improving results. Improve results you get from an LLM. So I basically did this to improve the results for one of my hobbies. So the people who are interested in my hobby will be able to find better answers from ChatGPT, because ChatGPT gives really, really bad answers by default for very niche subjects. So you ask very common subjects or programming subjects, they'll know. But you ask like a certain, sport, or certain like video game, or certain kind of skill, some certain kind of musical instrument, they'll give you completely stupid answers. So I basically did a project on this. This is actually not difficult if you follow things like tutorials. Unlike programming contests, so programming contests, you need to know a trick, right? Software engineering, you don't need to know a trick. There's no trick. There's no clever thing. Just follow the tutorial. But that's the most difficult part about doing this, is the amount of trial and error I have to do. I have to keep trying different variables and tune. And it's just like trial and error for hours. There's nothing clever or smart, or there's no DP, there's no sliding window. You just do a lot of trial and error. So I thought that was like a pretty interesting exercise. And I think that's more reflective of real life software engineering. I'm just reading chat. I'm going to get to the answers in a minute, but let me read chat since people are asking. So Mayank Carp, I like doing DSA, but I feel like I lack in front of people who do CF. What is CF? Oh, code forces? Well, Mayank, what is your goal? If Mayank, you're trying to get really good at competitive programming, then I think code forces is actually harder than LeetCode. So code forces is there's a lot of like tricky things. There's a lot of like mathematical patterns that you have to pick up. It's just hardcore competitive programming. So like ICPC style kind of programs. LeetCode is easier, sort of quote unquote easier by that comparison. But I think LeetCode is a little bit more realistic, because in real life software engineering, you don't need to know all those special things. You just need to know how to program properly and understand if somebody writes a clever solution, you need to understand what the clever solution is doing. But all those things like dynamic programming is not something that comes up very often in real life software engineering. Any tips to be able to solve all 4 questions in contests? That question, maybe Rishi will be able to answer. I did not solve all 4 questions. I usually don't. So I have no such goal. I just want to do it for fun. Yeah, for fun. If you want to get better, yeah, make sure you have it depends on what you want. If you just want to do programming for fun, both LeetCode and Code Forces are great. Yeah, you can, the more practice you get, the better. That's all I have to say. It's the same for all things. All right, cool. Let's yeah, this is not a good contest for me, man. I need more practice too. You know what? The same advice I give you guys, I have to do on my own. I find that I do better when I do this off stream. Off stream is much easier. Yeah, don't let the rank motivate you. Let your own knowledge motivate you. The other thing you can do if you guys are in school is to find other people who are like you. If you want motivation, right? Find other people who are like you and around your age, and you can practice together. So a good way is just come on this channel and meet people. I'm actually curious now. Actually, just as a aside, most of you are from India, right? I wonder if most of you are from the same few cities, and if you guys can meet up in real life. Yeah, just see I wonder if you guys can meet up in real life, if you're interested in building a community. I'm just gonna ask, where's everybody from? If you don't mind sharing, because if you guys are in the same city, you guys can actually meet up and work on these things together, and maybe it will become a fun community. I'm sure a lot of you guys are from Bangalore. You think you know potential? Look, a lot of these people are really good. Yeah, and we're all learning. Look, I'm doing this streaming, but I only get 2 questions. And then, Rishi gets all 4 questions. I only got 2 questions. And like this guy got 4 questions in 6 minutes. Look at this. What kind of nonsense is this? How can this be? Why do they do this in 10 minutes? This is insane. Look, I cannot even finish answering the question in 10 minutes. So don't be too harsh on yourself. Just come back week after week. Try it out and get better. Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like if you guys are in places that are nearby, if you're a lot of people from Bangalore, can meet each other. Refuse to believe you're not cheating. I don't know. I feel like I think people at the top don't need, like, who they cheat off of. Who are they gonna cheat from, right? There's no one to copy from if they're the first one. Yeah, so I kind of trust them. But I don't know how to do it. I'd love to see somebody do it in real time. Okay, cool. I feel like they're bots. Yeah. It's diabolical. Yeah. I don't know how to do it. But here's the thing. You don't have to be an expert at competitive programming to be a good programmer. You have to, you can be a good programmer. Alex, what is your rank? My rank is really bad. I don't want to show it because my rank is really bad today. Yeah, I don't want to show it right now. It's going to make me demoralized. Maybe I'll look at it and I'll check it next time. Yeah. Okay, cool. Anyway, I gotta go forth and talk about the solutions. You got 17,000? Yeah. It's rough out there. But the ranks get updated after a few days. So the rank you get today is not final. The rank will get updated like Wednesday or Thursday. You'll see your final rank. Okay, anyway, I gotta start my solution discussion and I have to go get lunch. Because it's 12 noon here. I do go get lunch. And you guys probably need to go to bed too. Alright. For the YouTubes, we are discussing solutions for LeetCode Biweekly Contest 141. Jump to specific questions using timestamps in the video description. Please check out the rest of my channel if you enjoy LeetCode contents. Like and subscribe to stay up to date on new videos. Okay, alright. So this is the solution discussion for LeetCode Biweekly Contest 141. We have 4 questions today. I managed to do only 2 of them, unfortunately. But question 1 and 2 are actually the same. So I'm going to go through both of them. One, I don't have a pre-made answer because this answer is for question 2. So normally when 2 questions are the same, what you can do is you can just solve the harder one and use the harder one as the solution for the easier one. So, question 1. Construct the minimum bitwise array 1. You're given an array nums consisting of n prime numbers. You need to construct an array answer of length n such that for each index the bitwise OR of n's I and answer plus 1 is equal to nums I. So, answer I or bitwise OR answer I plus 1 equals to nums I. And you must pick the smallest possible number that allows this to happen. If it's not possible to find such a value, then return answer I equals to minus 1. Okay, so let's take a look at some examples. This is actually not like super obvious what the problem is talking about. So for instance, in this example, we have 2, 3, 5, and 7. So 2 in binary is 1, 0. Then there's no pair of numbers that such that x or x plus 1 gives you 1, 0. How do I know that? Because x or x plus 1 must end with 1. Now more on that in a second. For 3, binary form is 1, 1. So 0, 1 plus 1 not plus or 1, 0. 0, 1 is 1, 1, 0 is 2, or will give you 1, 1. So this is 1. So 5, the binary of 5 is 1, 0, 1. And you'll notice that 1, 0, 0 and 1, 0, 1, which is 4 and 5, all will give you 5. So the answer here is 4. And 7, same thing, 1, 1, 1. You'll notice that 1, 1, which is 3, and 1, 0, 0, which is 4, you all them together, you get 1, 1, 1. So the answer here is 3. Notice that even though 5 is smaller than 7, the answer for 7 is smaller than 3. So for question 1, the way to do this is basically by brute force, right? That's the best way to do it. You know that these things are sorted in ascending order. If not, you can just do them. You can sort them yourself. So what you want to do is then you want to pick each one and say, you do like a for loop up to whatever nums is, and then you check x or x plus 1, and if it's equals to nums. So for question 1, the way to do it is just do a simple for loop. This is pretty straightforward. For question 2, however, if you do the same for loop, you're going to run out of time. So what you want to do is you want to do something a little bit clever. What you want to do is you want to do something a little bit clever. You want to observe the last few digits. You want to, last few digits. So you want to look at what happens if you take x and you do a bitwise OR with x plus 1. So for instance, so generally how I approach this is I just try a few random examples, right? I notice that x and x plus 1, the first few digits are identical. Only the last few digits are different. And how many digits are different depends on where the last 0 is. So for instance, if the number is 10000, the last 0 is right at the end, then this is 10001. And then x or x plus 1 is just like this. If x is 10001, and then x plus 1 will be, if it ends with 1, notice if this ends with 1, then x plus 1 would end with 10. And then if you OR them together, you get ends with 1, 1. So similarly, you just extrapolate, you keep going down, and you try to notice the pattern. So the pattern I notice is as follows. You look at the results of x bitwise OR x plus 1. You'll notice that the results depends on how many consecutive ones it ends with. So for instance, if there's one consecutive one, in this case, 100 whatever these first 3 numbers, you don't care. If the last 2 numbers are 0 and 1, then x and x plus 1, x will end with 0, 0, and x plus 1 will end with 0, 1. So if your target ends with 0, 1, then x will end with 0, 0, and x plus 1 will end with 0, 1. If your target ends with 1, 1, then the best way to do this is to find x that ends with 0, 1. You add 1 to it, you get 1, 0. Notice how this 0, 1 and 1, 0, when they all together, they gives you 1, 1. If you have 1, 0 and 1, 1, that all together also gives you 1, 1, but this is larger than this. So you want this one over here. So you soon realize there's a pattern, right? If your number ends with 0, 1, 1, then your x will end with 0, 1. Your target number ends with 0, 1, 1, 1. So the first 0 is 3 spaces away from the end. Then your x will be 0, 1, 1, and your x plus 1 will be 1, 0, 0. So you start to notice a pattern for here. You can try it out with other numbers. So for instance, this 7 over here. 7 is 1, 1, 1. Okay? So 7 is 1, 1, 1, which means your x must end with it's 1, 1, 1, right? So must x with 0, 1, 1. And your x plus 1 will end with 1, 0, 0. And everything else in front is the same. Everything else in front is the same. Yeah? So that's how you get 3 and 4. Let's try another example. Let's try another example for 5. 5 is 1, 0, 1. So it ends with 0, 1. So 0, 1 here. Where 0, 1 is here. So your target your x ends with 0, 0. Your x plus 1 ends with 1, 0. And everything else here in front is the same. You just copy this 1 here. So basically you end up with some kind of, you change it to binary and do some kind of string manipulation to get there. And so here's my answer. Here's what I ended up with. I have some kind of function to turn things into binary. For n in nums, ignore this printing thing. Oh, why is it not return res? Oh, why is it like this? Okay. Yeah, I don't know why the last line is gone. Oh. Yeah. So the solution will look something like this. You find the last zero. Okay? So first of all, if n is divisible by 2, you continue. You cannot do anything if it's an even number. So the reason why they say prime number is that prime numbers are mostly odd, but there's one even prime number. So they're trying to trip you up with the one even prime number. And then you do your target, which is the binary conversion. You find the last zero. The last zero. Where's the last zero? And if there's no last zero, then you do this. If the last zero is right at the end, then you just minus 1. That's easy. Otherwise, you do this string manipulation. You take this, you figure out where the last, so S is the front part. S is the front part here. The front part here. And then you add the part at the end. Based on what the ending is. What ending you're looking for. So this is the behind. This is the front, which is the same as the target, whatever is in nums. And then this is the behind, based on what the ending of nums is. And that's basically it. So that's how you notice the pattern, and you go from there. Yeah. So unfortunately, I didn't manage to do 2 and 3. Do question 3 and 4. Let me just check. Alright, bye Mayank. Bro, I participated in several LeetCode contests, but I only solve one problem each time. How can I improve? Practice. Yeah, practice. So the best way to improve is practice the like normal questions first. If you're struggling with question 1 and 2, then you should practice the non-contest question. Contest is actually really hard. It's like super duper hard. Don't think that it's easy. It's also not really realistic. Yeah. I'm not promoting cheating. We don't share code in this channel when we don't share solutions. I want to stress that. I cannot stress that enough. Yeah, that's I think the best way is just practice as much as you can, and look at other people's solutions. So look at other people's solutions and understand how they did it. So I try to do the daily problem. If you can, try to do that. I'm Rish. I'm not going to stream tomorrow. I only stream once a week. If there's bi-weekly, I'll stream the bi-weekly. If there's no bi-weekly, I'll stream the weekly. Because I don't have time to stream twice on a Saturday. Yeah. Okay. So for question 3, yeah, I'm going to see if I can figure out what question 3 is, because I didn't manage to do question 3. So don't be shy if you can do questions. I also can do questions. It's not realistic to try and do all 4 questions. I unfortunately don't have solution for question 3 and 4. I'm gonna think of them a little bit more, and I might post a video next week if I can figure out what the answer is. Or I just look at other people's answers and try to understand them. So I don't think I'm gonna try and go over the solutions for question 3 and 4 today. I have some doubt in bit manipulation. I'm just gonna answer some more questions before we end the stream. Can you tell me how to tackle the questions? So my general strategy for tackling questions is don't try to go with the solution first. Just try a lot of examples. So for instance, in question 2, just try examples, right? Just write them out one by one. Don't try and find the solution first until you worked out the problems by hand. So if it's, let's say, 2, 3, 5, 7, I will actually by hand work out what the answer is for 5. What's the answer for 5? I work it out by hand. So work out examples by hand. Yeah, if you try to jump to a machine solution right away, you will usually fail. That's my experience anyway. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna skip question 3 and 4. How long have you been doing this DSA? So I started this channel about a year ago. Well, actually in January, so about 10 months ago. My rating is very bad. So I was doing better at the beginning of the year because I did the daily problem and I practiced a lot. So I find that when I practice a lot regularly, I do better. But now I'm doing less good at contests because I've been not practicing as much since I have other things going on. Any tips to do well in interview questions? Contests are not a good representation of interview questions. If you want interview prep, I suggest just do the daily problems or just do the series. So things like dynamic programming, things like graph problem, just practice those series. Don't practice the really hard problems. The really, really hard problems are going to be hard. Yeah, is my question 3 guess is correct? I don't know. I didn't manage to do question 3 either. You can only solve one problem each time and you're really frustrated. Don't worry about solving one problem. So the contest is hard. The contest is not reflective of like interview questions. The contest is more for people who are interested in competitive programming. So don't worry if you don't solve a lot of contest questions. Yeah, and don't let the failure get to you. Just try, I think. So do you solve daily problems? You solve the daily problems, you can do all the daily problems, then you should be fine. The daily problems are mostly medium, so they are much easier than the contest problems. And the nice thing about daily problem is that somebody will have solved it already. So if you're not sure, you can just look at this. And you can see what other people are doing. Sometimes they explain, sometimes they don't explain very well. They just give you the solution. Then you need to try and figure out. Yeah. But it is what it is. Oh. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, other than that, I think this pretty much concludes my stream. I hope that people here and enjoy the channel and enjoy contests. I do think that it's much, if you want to get better at programming, it's much more productive to actually work on projects. And if you want to get better at interviews, you should do more daily problems and do the problem sets rather than a contest. The contests tend to be a very niche skill set. So doing contests only makes you better at contests and not much else. Okay, daily problem to find the maximum number of intervals that overlap. Yeah, I haven't done daily problem today, so I got to do that once I get off stream. Okay, so I think that's it for today. I gotta go. It's 12:30 p.m. here. It's probably early morning for most of you guys. Thanks again for coming out to my channel. If you remember, like and subscribe, it will help me out a lot. Leave a comment on the main the video page and tell us how many questions you managed to do. All right, I'm signing off. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.